Hi and welcome, my name is Jared and today on Clubit TV we're going to be taking a look at Quadropolis, a tile drafting city building game by Days of Wonder. Join me and Hubert at the table as we find out how well constructed this game is.
Take the construction site board and place it in the centre of the table. Take all of the first round tiles from the box, plus either the 3 classic tiles or expert tiles, depending on which version of the game you are playing. Place all of the tiles on the construction site thus, and remove any tiles for smaller player count. In this example, we are playing a 2-player game, and therefore all 3 to 4 and 4-player tiles are removed and returned to the box. Flip all the remaining tiles on the construction board over. Next, each player takes their own set of architects, numbered 1 to 4. One person is chosen to be the first player and given the green Mayor token, in this example the red player. The red player then places one of the architects next to the board, pointing down a row or column. The number on the marker denotes how many spaces down the column or row from the side of the board the tile is taken. In this case, 2. The red player takes the corresponding tile and the urbanist is placed in the vacated spot. The green player then takes their tile using the same method. Architects cannot be placed on top of one another or be pointing at the urbanist. They take the 4th tile from the corresponding side of the board and the urbanist is moved once again. This is repeated for 4 turns. If a player takes a tile with the green token printed on it, they receive the Mayor token for the next round and will be the first player. Clear the construction board of all remaining tiles and place the second round's tiles using the process previously described. After 4 rounds, the game ends. As you take your tile, you need to place it on your corresponding player board. The player used their 1 architect to take this tile. It can be placed in column or row 1. On their next turn, they use their 2 architect to take another residential building. This tile can be placed in column or row 2, and also as the second story of the existing one. This can only be done for residential buildings with a maximum height of 4. Resources are gained from some tile placements. These are indicated in top left-hand corner of the tile. Both these buildings will give the player a total of 3 people. 2 for the ground floor and 1 for the second. There is a second icon in the bottom right corner. It means this building needs 1 power to score at the end of the game. Residential buildings only need 1 power, regardless of the number of stories. That power does not need to be placed until just prior to scoring. Some buildings generate power, the red tokens. This harbour generates 2. We are going to place 1 on the residential block so we know it is powered. The red player then places a shop tile. This requires 1 power and people assigned to it for it to score. We are doing it now so we can keep track of what requires people or power. You will find this handy whilst playing the game. They can be moved at any time prior to end game scoring. Some tiles will score you victory points if they are powered or staffed, like this one. There is a 1 VP icon in the top left corner. If you place a park, it can soak up surplus energy. Any extra energy or people at the end of the game will deduct points from your score. Parks will also score if they are orthogonally adjacent to residential tiles. Place 1 staffed public building in each coloured quadrant for them to achieve a better score. The higher the residential block, the more they will score. Factories score being orthogonally adjacent to harbours or shops. The game comes with a scoring legend. Total up your points on the pad and see who won. To play the expert version, flip the player boards over. You will see there is a 5th area. All of the architects are in a pool, 1 set for each player, and there is now a 5 architect too. If this player used the 5 architect to take this tile, it could be placed anywhere in the 5th area or the number 5 areas of the other sectors. There are also monument and tower blocks that behave like residential blocks. Flip over the scoring legend to see how the scoring works in expert mode. There is also a mini parks expansion in the box. Some of the parks are replaced and no longer soak up energy but give you extra people. And that is how to play Quadropolis.
And there we go. Should have turned it over. It's not a big deal. And that one. So we get rid of those. Okie dokie. As your first player, you get first. Thank you. Where shall I go? What do I want? Who even knows? You've got first player, that means you've got a huge advantage. Ooh, where are we going to go? Good question. I think I'm going to go here. 1, 2 to pick up that one. Okay, that means you get 3. So I have to put it in the 2 column or 2 row. 2 column, 2 rows. Put it there. So I get 3 meeples. 3 meeples. I'll put them there for now. And then we need to put the urbanist. So I can't. So let's have a look. I might go. I'm going to go for energy first. You got that, so I'll take 3. Move the urbanist. And I put him there. 3 power! Yes, I've got the power, you've got the people. Can I have the cheat sheet, if that's okay? Because I need to remind myself of the combos. I might put mine there, actually. So. And you're on the expert side, by the way. Expert? I am not an expert. I am not a trained professional. Yes, we know that. Next. What shall I pick up next? I need power. So it would be a good idea for me to try and obtain power. I can't point anything at the urbanist, so I might have to go. Sorry, what am I thinking? There. Right, move the urbanist guy. I want to get people. Boom. 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 Can't take him anywhere. So I want to take a harbour. That's the 1. So put it in the 1 row or 1 column. So I'll put it in there, and that gives me 2 peeps. I'm going to put 1 automatically on top of there just to show that it is. And yes. The one thing I need to keep on reminding myself is that if I'm actually building a high-rise, is that I don't need an extra power. I've already got the power. You already have the power. I have the power to pick up a flower. That's probably about as much power as I've got. Yeah, no, it could be one that's stuck in the ground quite firmly. You have a problem. I should be diverse, and I'm going to go for a park. Would be handy to put it, I guess. Oh, hang on. It's a 4. It was a 4. Crud. So it's got to be 4 column or 4 row. Crud. That's not much of an option. You go for the 3. Oh, yeah, I'll put it there because it's next to a high rise. That's a 4. Oh, it's going to be a 4. It's in the 4. Oh yes, 4 column. Sorry, my bad. Get it together, man. My bad. Oh, I'm going to put this guy here because I just realised I can put him there. Don't have to do it now, but it does help to keep track of what you're doing. Correct. Okay, so get that one. I want to buy something that gives me this. This is where the AP kicks in. Yes, analysis paralysis. Right, I'm going to go here and take the shop. And let's see, what can I do with the shop? SHOPPING. Shopping. Shops aren't really. Shop next to. Oh, shops need to go near. Harbours, isn't it? And. Yeah, so I put this in the 2
row here. Put a power, yes. Likes to be next to.
It does like to be next to.
Well, harbours. I mean,
the power station.
Power stations. Power stations up here.
Yeah.
Do like it. So you'll go.
All I have is the 3 left.
This is a factory, or you could take the first player token again. Like there.
Yes.
Go there. Go there.
I can go there. There are many, many options available to me.
Yes.
If I go down the power station route, then I need to start concentrating on harbours and shops. If I go for that, So I'm going to go. I'll ensure that I'm still the mayor, and I'm going to go for.
You're certainly a mayor, that's for sure.
I wanted to go high rise, but I can't.
You need a 2 for
I
that.
know. Or a 4, 2 or a 4.
Yeah. Well, you could use a 2 anyway because it's second floor. So you can use a 2 architect to put second floor on. So you have to go somewhere in the 3.
Is this making me change my mind? It is making me change my mind.
Oh!
I will high rise later. I go for this then. So I will probably just don't want to put it there.
I'm going to put it there.
I'm going to put it there.
To get 2 power.
And I shall man it straight away.
Yes, because you can. Okay, I've got a 4, which kind of limits what I can do. I'll go for this.
Oh, hang on, sorry, I didn't move the urbanist.
Yes, must move the urbanist. I can go there.
Yeah.
Or I could get that one
there.
There's nothing else I could get. But that one's got 2 VP straight off. If I can man it. Okay, let's.
It's gone very quiet.
Because I'm thinking. And then I'm going to take that. So it goes in the 4 row, 4 column. Put you down there. And I get 1 chap because of it, which I'm going to put on the shop for the time being.
Nice.
Okay, so that's the end of
round 1. Welcome back. You've just seen us play Quadropolis. Now, what did we think of it? Hubert, what did you think?
Well, I enjoy this game. I do like playing it. I've played it quite a few times since being sent the box. It's being sent the game, and I find it a thoroughly enjoyable game. The components I think are lovely.
Definitely.
The really thick cardboard. I love the translucent meeples and power. The game just really flows really quickly and well. I tend to suffer a little bit from AP, analysis paralysis.
This game does have analysis paralysis issues in this one, yeah, definitely. But
it's not huge.
It's not huge. I really like the artwork as well on it.
Artwork's great.
Artwork's really good on it. So yeah,
nice and bright and punchy.
The only gripe I've got with the components are that the player mats are a bit thin, but they're on the table anyway. You don't really notice it. But I would have liked it. Would have preferred like thicker mats. But yeah, apart from that, that's the only issue I had.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think of replayability.
Yes, there's every game's different. It feels different when you're playing different player numbers. You've also got the expert mode and the Parks expansion. They work quite well. I
haven't played that yet.
No, I haven't tried the Parks expansion either. But you know, it changes every time you play. The tiles are going to be in a different place. It's got huge replayability. I think with the expansion, it opens up even more possibilities. But generally, it's
scales well for. Can you play it as a solo, or is it literally just from 2 to 4?
No, it's 2 to 4.
2 to 4, but it scales really well. We played it as a 2-player, as you saw.
Yes.
I really quite like that, taking the 3 to 4 player tiles off, I think it mixes up quite a bit. I enjoyed that. I'm just thinking of the mechanisms in it. I really liked. For starters, you had the mayor, so that changes potentially as long as somebody takes the mayor tile, then the other person becomes the first player in future.
Yes.
Really like the Urbanist. The Urbanist was fantastic.
Oh yeah, it really frustrates you.
It can be, yes.
I mean, just in the video, you know, it's like, oh, you can't do that. Oh yes, I'm pointing at the Urbanist. So like, yes, it just it will thwart you a number of times. It's bad enough having not being able to place it over other architects, but then having the Urbanist that gets in your way. You might have to wait till another turn before it moves.
Yeah.
But yes, it's
one of those things that you need to stay on top of.
Yes.
If you take a tile, you need to remember to put the Urbanist in its place straight away. If you forget and you're like, oh, where did I pick up the tile from? Where does the Urbanist need to go to? And then this is the bit where the AP for me started to kick in, was which architect number am I going to use to pick up a tile, but then I also need to use that same architect number to then place it on my board as well. And you have to think of the two mats, the tile board where you're picking them up from,
the construction
your construction site, and the player mat as well, with your architect.
I think that's one of the things I love about this game, is that it's so simple. The mechanisms are so simple. You can just teach it really quickly.
Absolutely.
But then you think, oh, this is a really simple game. But halfway through the game, you then begin to realise that some of the decisions you made earlier on are perhaps not the best decisions, and you're kind of like going, oh, I want to put this tile here and I need this particular facility or this, and it's like, it doesn't exist, or it's not on the board, or I can't get it, and then you're sitting there going like, ah!
But as you say, the mechanisms are really simple. You just literally take a tile that you can and place it wherever you can, and then you just need power and people. But apart from that, it's the decisions that you make, as you say, definitely.
Yes.
Been comparing this to Suburbia. I like Suburbia a lot.
You own Suburbia.
I own Suburbia. It's a nice, big, meaty game, that one, with a lot to think about. This one is more of a family game.
Yes.
And the artwork as well sort of like promotes that definitely as well.
Suburbia's artwork's a bit muted, isn't it?
Oh, very, very muted as well. And I quite liked in Suburbia, in the rules thing at the back, it actually said a special thank you to so and so who for the artwork on it. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so you managed to get somebody else to do the artwork. I would have possibly done a bit better with the artwork on Suburbia, but I love the game. I absolutely love the game.
Yes.
I love the mechanisms.
I played it
in
as
that
well.
But this one's, I guess, a bit more appealing if you're after a shorter game, if you're after a bit more simplistic game with regards to mechanics, and you're wanting to play maybe like, I guess with your families and stuff like that. So, So two very, very different feeling city building games.
But both are very thematic.
Both are very, very
for me, this game feels like SimCity. I used to love playing SimCity, but I used to get frustrated because I could never work out the algorithm to really make your city grow. But with Quadropolis, because you have the scoring sheet in front of you, you know what you need to do. And it's... And
this feels less two-dimensional because you actually get to
build
stack
upwards.
tiles, which is fantastic. You don't get to do that in Suburbia.
In the expert mode, you can do it with both the residential blocks and the... the commercial buildings.
Commercial buildings, the shops?
The high-rises, yes.
Right, fantastic.
But, yes... generally, love this game. It's going to stay on my shelf, and I'll play it quite a lot.
It's an easy. It's a bit of a gateway game as well. Easy to teach this one, definitely.
Yes.
So I can see this one coming out quite a lot for us to be able to teach new people.
But it's also got the expert mode, which
exactly,
which will make you sit there going. It adds an extra round, lengthens the game. Doesn't add too much complexity to it.
Sure.
But still...
Just a bit more depth to it.
Yes, a little bit more depth. It's kind of more the same, but the fact that you've then got a fifth round to play with and a fifth area that you can place your tiles in, and it will make you think more. And I just love this game. What about you?
I loved it. I'm trying to think of a score for it myself. I mean, I prefer Suburbia. I would... And in hindsight, I think I would like similar artwork to this in Suburbia, and then for me, Suburbia would just be like 9, 10 out of 10 for me. This one for me is 7 out of 10. I like the ease of access to it. I guess I like the fact that you could just pick this one up so quickly.
Yeah, mine's a bit higher. Mine's like high 7s in this one, 7.8, something like that.
Sure.
It's not quite an 8. 8 is it's a game I would really love playing. Yeah, well, anything above 8 for me is just like, oh, I love this game. But yes, yeah, it's something I would play often, and I think it's because it's got a very attractive cover. When you're sitting on your shelf, you kind of think to yourself, people just looking at your shelf will go like, "Ooh, can we play this? What's this game all about?"
Yeah. So if you like city building games and you prefer easy access games, gateway games, by all means start off with Quadropolis. If you're after a bit of a meatier one maybe, then try out Suburbia. I'm not sure of any other titles that are out there, but yeah, I hope that gives you a bit of an idea.
Okay, and that's us. This is Hubert and Jared for Clubit TV.
Signing off.
Yes, we're signing off now, and we'll see you later.